Alright guys, it's time to put these valve covers on. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, Anders Zen. If you guys caught the last episode, you saw that we finally finished up the paint job on the valve covers. Used a 2K epoxy, basically primer black, and I ended up really liking the color. I was originally going to do aluminum, but was happy with that. Hit it with some matte clear, or a satin clear, and now they're ready to go back on the car. Finally, haven't driven this thing for a while. I did finish up all of the trunk little rust spot repair. Hit it with some CRC corrosion inhibitor, and threw some anti-seize on the seal as well. So shouldn't ever be a problem again. Never again an issue. It would be silly to have any rust pop up again. So battery is on the tender right now, looking good. And yeah, we're ready to put these back in. Not much else to it. Throw these back on. I got the new Felpro gaskets, which these are a silicone Viton based gasket. So I'm hoping that these do a good job sealing, and hopefully they last a lot longer because they don't suffer from, you know, heat degradation like regular Bunta rubber or typical rubber you'll find on valve covers. So excited to try these out. But anyways, I'm gonna get these prepped and basically just throw them on. I'll time lapse you guys over by the engine bay while I'm putting them on. All right guys, gasket is on. Fitment is really good. No complaints about that at all. Put a little bit of dielectric grease at the corners on the little half moons just to keep the gasket in place, and then I oiled both sides of the gasket tiny bit, just kind of help it lubricate while it's going in and stay solid. So I'm gonna go ahead. I can't even remember if I prepped the engine side or not, so I'm gonna go check that out, see if it's needs some cleaning or not. Honestly, don't remember. It's been a while since we were in here. Oops. All right. I think for the most part, should be good. But let me take the little plastic razor blade and get in here a little bit. All right, guys. Surface is pretty prepped, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this thing on. Those are all hand tight, I guess you could call it. Look up torque specs. I think it's 10 Newton meters. Let me verify real quick. Alright guys, well, I can't find my smaller torque wrench, so I'm going to go ahead and do the driver's side. Leave them as is for now, and then I got to go make a tool run anyways later on. So I'll go ahead and do that and grab a smaller torque wrench. I know I have one, but I have no idea where it is right now, so that's okay. Go ahead and continue on. Alright guys, well, pretty meditative process right there. Feels good to have those on. A lot of work went into everything, obviously. So cool to get them all situated. I'm going to run over to Harbor Freight sometime today and get what I need. I need to pick up those terminals anyways, which I know Harbor Freight doesn't have the right size I need, but maybe I'll check around Home Depot as well and try to get the supplies I need so we can finish this up tonight and get started on that battery install over here. So check back with you guys in a bit. Alright guys, long time later in the day, but we got the goods. Inch pound torque wrench, quarter inch, set it to 88.5 inch pounds, which is 10 Newton meters. Also, I got some really exciting stuff. So if you guys saw in the last video I was talking about, I found a way that I think I can get the Nuke fuel rails to work. I found it. I found the adapters. They're 14 millimeter height adapters basically. LS ones use the same like EV1 but a longer style or shorter style depending on which LS ones. Same O-ring diameter, same bore, so it's 14 millimeter. So I found a site, shout out to, I think it was called Michigan Motorsports, something like that, or Michigan Motors, something like that. They had a really good deal, so I bought them. They should be here this week. I bought A in line so we can loop it. I am so excited. There might be a possibility we can get these to work. And that means if I can figure it out and I can get the correct dimension that you guys need, I ordered a little bit longer than I think I will. But if I can get it figured out, that means you guys will be able to buy these from Nuke a lot sooner than would have been if I couldn't. So anyways, with that good news, let's go ahead and get this valve cover torqued down. And the bad news side of that is I'm not going to be starting this thing up for a little while longer. I'm going to wait till those get here. I don't want to throw everything in and then just pull the rail out again. And yeah, so I'm going to get this torqued down and then we'll basically just leave it and work on some other stuff. Alright guys, what I'm realizing is I need some more lighting in the garage. Or at very least, if I know I'm going to work on the engines, I need to be facing that way where all the light is, up there at the top. But yeah, we'll just work what we got. I'm not doing much. I'm just torquing these down. So I'll let you guys see, maybe hear the clicks, and then we'll get on with our lives. Alright guys, passenger side is all torqued. This thing, I can't remember. I feel like I bought one of these a while ago. And I think it clicked, but this one does not click when it gets to it. It basically just like, you hear the spring and you feel it. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or if this one is kind of defective or what, but it's working. It's just not making the click. Alright guys, well, she's all put together for now. Like I said, I don't really feel like putting on the whole fuel rail and all that stuff if I know those parts to put the Nuke fuel rail are going to be here hopefully early this week. So I will most likely leave this thing here. Coil packs are on, everything's pretty much on. It needs to be. Just the plugs and injectors obviously. And then plugging in all my catch can lines, all that stuff. So we will take it shortly to start adventuring again. But tomorrow morning, I'll probably catch you guys. We are hoping to make the Lake Washington Cars and Coffee at Madrona Park. Those of you that are local, if I see you there, hopefully, say what's up. And hopefully I'll run into a couple buddies over there. I think my son and my niece are going to come with us, or niece-in-law, and have a little fun day for Father's Day. So I will catch you guys in the next part of the video. Alright guys, good morning and happy Father's Day, by the way. I woke up with a bit of a stiff neck today, so I had to spend about an hour massaging that before we can head out right now. But we're a little late to the party, but I'm going to try to go take the C36 over to Madrona Park for a little while at least. Cool thing, our battery terminal showed up, so that's a good step for the CLK. I got to play a little musical car shuffling right now, so let me move the Echo, move the E420, and then we can get this thing backed out so I can wipe it off a bit. Alright guys, got the other cars out of the way. Let's go ahead and start the C36 up. Alright guys, so I'm just going to give this thing a quick wipe down and then we'll be on our way. First time seeing it outside with the rear spacers on as well. Looks pretty good. Alright guys, well, got it cleaned off a little bit. I will say this stuff is awesome. I've never really used waterless car wash type stuff, but I've always been a fan of Turtle Wax products. That is really good. Made it super easy. Just gave it a wipe down. This thing needs to be polished and really gone through, but it's alright. It's 10-foot presentable right now, so I don't know if we're gonna make it to the car show, guys, but I do want to at least take this thing out for a little bit and go fill it up. Need some gas, and maybe we can take it for a quick little rip and set up the tripod. Alright guys, well, just filled her up a little bit and just enjoying the cruise. This is my Father's Day treat to myself, I guess, just taking this car out for a drive. I'll take it. Love this thing. Alright boys, let's have a little Father's Day fun. Guys, look how cool this thing is. I can't believe I own this car. Oh man, what a trip. Well, the tripod I brought with me is not my best, so I don't think I'm gonna leave it on the road and fly by it, because if it drops, my camera's not gonna be happy. So we'll just enjoy this and then head back home and finish up some stuff on the other cars later on to include in today's video. But man, it's cool. It's a good Father's Day. Alright, one more on the way out. Oh, that dip right there, man. Started from second gear that time, guys. Doesn't pick up as fast like that. Top of second gear really starts to wake up, and then from there it just pulls, man. But in order to launch it, you really got to start it in first. It doesn't work great in second, and it doesn't like kicking down to first most times. So anyways, beautiful day. Time to go spend some time with the fam and count the blessings, man. I'm grateful. Alright you guys, hot take, but hear me out. As much as the plans are probably to put a manual in this thing at some point, I just get the feeling that this car with like paddle shifters would be amazing. Like if it had a 722.6 that was properly set up, or somehow a 722.9, if it just had more gearing, this car would be fantastic. I feel like if Mercedes replicated the 3.6 M104 and put it with a modern transmission, it would be wild. I feel like it would be so much fun. But anyways, I was just thinking about it as I was cruising, because I'm like, I wanted to downshift. Like I'm reaching for paddles over here to downshift, because I'm used to that in most of the automatic cars that I have. But yeah, it just made me start thinking what automatic would be good with this thing. The 4-speed is great, don't get me wrong. It's just, I feel like it's not enough gears for this car. The benefits is it's really snappy, it shifts really cool, but it's just not enough gearing, I feel like, for what this engine is capable of. So 6-speed I think is the way to go, and most viable way to get that. Comes in the form of a 7/16 manual gearbox, so that is most likely the plan down the line. Just got to get some other things sorted out with the other cars before we start a big new project. Almost home. Alright guys, well, not the most adventurous day, but got to go stretch her legs a little bit, which is always good for the cars. And now she gets to go back in the garage to join a very special friend. Guys, look how clean this looks. I'm so happy with this. Looks awesome with the blue valve cover gaskets. This looks really clean. I cannot wait to get the nuke fuel rails on here. It's gonna look extraordinaire, and I'm pumped for it, and just pumped to get that system working. and most importantly, get this car back up and running. We need to start prepping it this summer. I've said this for like the past 2 summers, but I have to make it to at least one track day with this car. Preferably, I would like to make it out to the Ridge, which is on the west side of Washington. I really want to. So I need to go through a few more things on this car. I want to redo the shift linkage. I would like to gut the primary cats and just a few other things. And besides that, cooling system, I have some new lines for it I want to run. I want to do the crankshaft pulley. I have some buddies checking on that, techs in our E55 group chat. Gonna check on the pricing for the crank pulley, see if I can get a good deal. And if I can take care of that, this car is pretty ready to send. So yeah, let me get this thing pulled into the garage. Well guys, that was a lot of fun. Simple, but I'm a simple guy. I like simple things. It's fun for me. So I think we're gonna go do some Father's Day stuff, fam time, and I will catch you guys back here tonight. Maybe with some more work on the C55 or CLK55, since we got our battery terminals that showed up and different heat gun, so we can finish up some more wiring and the battery stuff. Would like to get the battery box mounted, or battery tray mounted rather. So I'll have to spray this thing down with the rust converter, get it mounted, and yeah, get that part done. Alright guys, what's going on? Way later on in the day, had a really nice Father's Day with family, had a barbecue over at my wife's aunt and uncle's house, so shout out to all the fam. But anyways, last few things I want to close out the video with right now. I am thinking about running an external filter setup on the CLK55. The fuel senders from the E55 have a built-in filter that you can replace. Creative Steel actually makes one, so if you guys are going to do that, definitely hit up Creative Steel. Very reasonable. I think it's like 35 bucks or something like that. So that's the easy route and a good route. But for me, I'm just thinking of like serviceability wise. I want to run a pre-filter and a post-filter, and I want to run them externally so that I can just, it makes it easier to get to them and access them. And if I can get like the washable stainless filters, that would be great. So my plan is to run something like a 70 to 100 micron pre-filter, and then a probably like 10 to 20 micron post-filter. So what I would like to do right now is try to crack one of these open. Since I have 2, I'm gonna start with the one that I'm not gonna use, and yeah, just see if I can get it cracked open and see what we find inside, see what the filter looks like. I'm curious, and then that'll also give us a game plan of just how to do it properly, how to get it off, and then how to seal it back up. There was one other thing I wanted to do. Oh yeah, I want to finish up these ends. I did get these today in the mail. This one's kind of just sitting on here. I didn't tighten it all the way. So I'm going to try to finish these up so that tomorrow, first thing, I can get to drilling the trunk out, putting the rib nuts in, and getting the battery mounted. So that part is done. We can move away from the trunk, and now we can start moving towards the gas tank. And I am also going to pull off the cowl and get that Y fitting replaced for the coolant, because if you guys have a 209 or a 203 or any of the Mercedes of that era that use that Y split plastic fitting for the coolant hose that's in the cowl, just go in there right now and replace it, because I guarantee you it is like one hot pull away from just bursting like it did in my C55. Just saw a buddy from Hey Boys Garage, Michael, same thing just happened to his car. Few people have been hitting me up lately with why is there coolant leaking from by the windshield? And I just say, hey, check it out. It's like a $4 fix, don't worry. But yeah, so I'm gonna take care of it ahead of time, because I plan on pushing this car. I was just talking to my cousin-in-law today, Aaron, about going to the drag strip this summer. I've never been, so it'd be super cool to take the CLK55 and the C55 and do like a track battle, even though the CLK55 will dominate, but you know, it'll still be fun to have both of them out there and just see what they can do. So that is on the list of summer things. And the other thing, like I mentioned earlier in today's video, I think I gotta make it out to the ridge. Gotta make it out there. It looks so cool, and that's what these cars are being made for, especially the C55. That's what I'm building it for. I want it to be a track car, so it's time to start stretching its legs on an actual track and see what it can do. So yeah, anyways, I'm talking, yammering on, but get this open, finish these up, and then we'll call it. All right, guys, so I just got the little gasket off. I'm gonna need to get 2 new ones of those anyways. This one still looks pretty good. This one looks shot, so I'll just get 2 new ones, make sure they're good to go. But essentially how this works, first off, unclip your plug right here. And what I'm thinking is right here, there's a little clasp. And if you can see that, basically gonna push that down with a flathead and let it swivel that way. I think that's how it's gonna work. So I'm gonna have to finagle with this a little bit. I'll show you guys what I find out. Alright guys, well, that was a bit of a workout. First recommendation, wear like some type of rubber glove so you got a nice bit of grip on the plastic housing on both sides, because you have to twist it quite aggressively. Here's what I had to do. Broke off the clip, which I probably didn't need to now, but or actually I might have. There's a little clasp that was on this side, if you guys remember from earlier in the video a few seconds ago. Broke that piece off, and then there is the tab right here, which you have to push down. So I kind of bent it into place with the pliers. I think it's on this side actually. So you can see I bent that one into place so that it stuck down while I was turning this so that it couldn't hit on that little tab right there. So you turn it, what is that? I guess it depends on, well, you turn this clockwise. If it's facing up towards you, turn it clockwise. That's the way it comes off. Other things, it has very key note. I saw this from a forum post earlier. Somebody like replaced the filter and then lost all fuel pressure. They couldn't figure out what they did. It's because this O-ring is supposed to be in here. So this is a whatever they call it, HNBU or something like that. O-ring, Viton, something. So that needs to be there to make the seal with the top housing to hold the pressure. And then there's also this little barb that the filter connects onto. So let me get the filter out with both my hands and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright guys, well there it is. Filter is out. And the craziest thing about these filters, Mercedes just really didn't want you to replace them by themselves. There is no part number at all on these filters, which is crazy. I mean, people have figured it out now. I think there's a Phoebe filter that people know of, and like I said, the Creative Steel one. All that's on here literally is a number 3, and then on the other side it says number 3 POM. That is all that you can find on it, which is hilarious. Okay, first thing that makes me wonder is this clasp right here. This is obviously doing something with this portion of the sensor, or the, you know, plug right here. So I need to figure out what that is, what that does exactly, because you know, we're gonna want to replicate everything as is so that the fuel pressure stays the same. So it's being pushed down by the filter, I would guess, but what that does, I don't really know. So I'll have to try to figure that out before officially game planning to go with an external filter. I know the easy route is just to stick with one of these, just replace it in the other sending unit, but easy route is not always the best route, so I will do some homework on this. I might ask Josh from Creative Steel, see what he knows about these, and we'll go from there. But anyways, cool discovery, and nice to have the knowledge of how these come apart now. This filter doesn't look that bad, in all honesty. Some of them that people take out are just absolutely caked on, but this one obviously dirty, but like wiping your hand on it, you don't get a ton of crud on your hands or anything. Some of the ones that I've seen people pull out are literally like mud when you wipe your hands on them. So a little bit of debris inside, but not a whole lot. And then the top hat as well is not too bad. O-rings a little stuck on one side, it looks like, but for the most part everything's in good shape. So one person I saw was also questioning if there was any sealant that they used on this, and I don't think so. I think it's just a really firm plastic grip with all these little teeth that it sits into. So you basically sit into the teeth and then twist lock it, and that's how it seals with the O-ring. Alright guys, next on the list to finish out the video, I just got this terminal on here nice and tight, so I'm going to use a hammer and punch and lock this thing onto here, and then we'll slip on the heat shrink and that'll be done. Finish up the black one and we'll be done. Alright guys, got a little sidetracked, but just got that one done. So basically how I do them, I just take a punch and sorry, this thing won't focus. Alright, there we go. So basically just take a punch and center it and hit it once it's all tucked in there and it's nice and solid. You can solder these too as well with the thicker rods of solder, but yeah, just found this works really easy. I'll go ahead and slip our heat shrink over it and we'll be good. Alright guys, well this side is done. Fancy new little heat gun did its job. Got this off Amazon. I had like 12,000 reviews. It was 10 bucks, and I feel like the design of it, the shape of it is kind of nicer for working on wiring and stuff. So yeah, I tried it out and it's really good. So that side done. Let's do the black one, then we're done. Alright guys, black one all finished up as well. Got both of our cables made. Let's go edit and go to bed. Alright guys, well, long day, but man, I'm thankful to be doing all this. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to experience everything I am and to have everything I do. I don't know, it's just a day like this reminds you of the blessings you got to count, and you guys are one of those blessings as well, helping me build this whole channel and being a part of it. So if you're one of the people that stick around to watch all the videos and hear all the things I have to say and like are there for all the details, I just appreciate you. I appreciate you regardless, for anyone stopping by the channel, checking things out. But for those people that really like dig into the details and have really stuck with this whole journey we've been on with all the cars and with me, just much love. Like I can't really say much more than that, but just know how appreciative I am for you guys, because without subscribers and people watching the channel, it kind of makes it boring. It wouldn't be as fun. I'd still be doing all this stuff, but having it turn into a team, like it makes it into something more than just doing things by yourself. So yeah, much love to all you guys. Happy Father's Day again to all the dads out there, and just much love to all of you guys and your families, regardless of what you got going on. So that said, I am beat. I'm gonna go edit and pass out. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.